It is pointless to resist.
Take it easy.
For years, the Yankees have been missing one of the key ingredients to their many championships, a big-time left-handed bat in the middle of the order. However, after a subpar 82-80 season in which the Yankees offense was among the worst in Major League Baseball, that's about to change. They have agreed to a trade to acquire 25-year-old left-handed hitting Juan Soto, one of the best young hitters in all of Major League Baseball. We'll dig into the trade, we'll get your instant reactions, and we'll keep an eye out for any updates that continue to come in. The Yankees have made their biggest move in years, and we are live to talk about it. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
New York City.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
All right. There's a big smile on my face tonight, baby. Hello to everyone who went to bed and then decided to check their phone one last time. It is official. We have some breaking news. Mr. Juan Soto is a New York Yankee. So, we've had to deal with a lot of waiting over the last couple of days. Yesterday, it looked like the deal might break. Today, we all figured early on in the day, it was definitely going to break. And I was gearing up for it all day, baby. It was like Gordon Ramsay was coming over to cook me dinner. And he was going to make me a nice big beef Wellington with a side of mashed potatoes and some loaded fries and some cranberry sauce. And instead, I ended up microwaving week-old ramen noodles because I thought that this was done, and then it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, and then MLB Network reported that it might happen tomorrow. But as Matt Sheridan says, baby, it's time. JD Buffalo says, Juan Soto indeed a New York Yankee. Yes, he is. And look, this is probably the Yankees' biggest trade since Giancarlo Stanton. Now, obviously, Stanton hasn't worked out the way that we had hoped. And you always remember where you are when you hear about a trade. Now, I talked about this a little bit during the Waiting Game podcast that we had a little while ago. I remember in 2004, when A-Rod was traded to the Yankees, I was in the middle of moving a couch. The news broke. I lost control of myself. I dropped the couch on my foot and was in a combination of pain and euphoria at the same time. And then I was stuck on a toilet in a Walmart with essentially hot sauce poisoning when the Giancarlo Stanton trade broke. Roger Clemens trade. I remember I was getting ready for a baseball game of my own when I heard the news. And you'll always remember, especially if a trade ends up being very impactful, where you were when you heard about it. Now, this one was tough because we were waiting all day. We still don't have the exact details on who is in this trade. I've included in the upper reel on the right some Trent Grisham, some Michael King, some Drew Thorpe. These are all names that we've heard were part of the deal, and it's unclear if this late snag that was experienced, that kind of forced this deal to be pushed into now the 11 o'clock hour, has affected any of the components of the trade. My guess is the Yankees probably just including a little extra money if somebody had an issue with their medicals. So let's give a standing ovation to the newest member of the New York Yankees, Mr. Juan Soto. Juan Soto on New York Yankees. Matt Sheridan says, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. If the reports are correct, we're sending back a number of players. Mike King, fantastic pitcher, both in relief and as a starter last season. He transitioned to a starter late in the season. Johnny Brito ended up pitching the second game of the year and has a very good changeup, as you've seen. He was a little bit up and down. I think he was the best of the Yankees' young pitchers that came up. Randy Vasquez had some good starts as well, good appearances. He got a filthy slider. Never been in love with his mechanics. I feel like, there's a lot of pressure on his elbow, the way he throws. But look, the Padres cleaned us out for some of our pitching depth. Clark Schmidt does not sound like he is in this trade. So you have to imagine he's coming back to the rotation. Facts are this. The Yankees needed a left-handed bat, not just this year, but for the last several years. Really since Cano, they haven't had that prime, deadly left-handed bat that is a threat to hanging sliders and can hit you a big 3-run home run. Now, Rizzo, obviously a good hitter, but we got him late in his career, and he has not been the same since the Yankees picked him up. Scott Boras is Juan Soto's agent, and Scott Boras' clients like to test the free agent waters. He demands it. And it's not a stretch to think that Soto will get $450, $500 million because he's 25 years old. He's not going to turn 26 until after next season. He's younger than Estevan Florial. So Verdugo yesterday, Soto today. Yamamoto is meeting with the Yankees on Monday. The Yankees are all in, and I am here for it. Andrew Calabria says, our outfield just went from 30th to 1st. And Ron Bees says, Cashman came through. Juan Name says, we want Houston. Be careful what you wish for there, buddy. And Danji says, gotta pay to play. So the Yankees are all in, and when they're all in, they can be extremely dangerous. We talked about that earlier tonight on the previous podcast. When the Yankees have a lot of money to spend and are motivated, they can do a lot of damage. 2009, it was CeCe Sabathia. It was A.J. Burnett. It was Mark Teixeira. It was Nick Swisher. They won a World Series. If it wasn't for Josh Hamilton, they might have won it in 2010. Also, they had a damn good year that year, too. The Yankees are going for it this year. They're not worried about re-signing Juan Soto. I'm sure they would love to re-sign Juan Soto, and we'll talk about that after the season. But getting Juan Soto tells me the Yankees are trying to win this year. Now, Angel J. Guzman Reyes has an interesting comment that I'd like to talk about. He says that Soto's going to hit 45 home runs, and he very well may hit 45 home runs. But I don't think he's going to benefit from the short porch as much as you think he will, or as much as most people think he will. If you look at his spray chart, and we'll pull up some Juan Soto spray charts here, he hits a lot of balls to left field that in Yankee Stadium might be outs. So what I'm really looking for from Juan Soto is a guy who's going to wrong screen there. A guy who's going to hit the ball to all fields, who's going to walk a lot, who's just going to be a threat in the lineup. He hits the ball very hard, is in the 99th percentile of hard hit percentage, of chase percentage. I mean, across the board, this guy is absolutely tremendous. Walk percentage, his command of the strike zone is some of the best in baseball. I think when you're thinking about the batting order, you got to take a look at hitting him second and hitting Aaron Judge third. Having him on base for Aaron Judge is going to be huge. We also need some other guys to step up. We need Rizzo to be healthy this year. We need Giancarlo Stanton to do something this year. But having Juan Soto, having Gleyber Torres, and having Alex Verdugo all in contract seasons, I mean, that's potential for some serious offense. And now you've also got to talk about Yamamoto, who is meeting with the Yankees on Monday. And we'll talk a lot about him, but for now, the offense is at least a little bit better than last year, for sure. We still need some other guys to step up, but I feel a lot more confident in this lineup than I did the one that started on opening day. So we're going to talk a little bit about some Blue Jays fans here. So let me get situated. I've got a few things I want to put on the screen, and Also, we got to give a round of applause to Mike King, who did a fantastic job for the Yankees. So about a week ago, actually it was December 2nd, we're going to take a look at this. I posted that I saw this comment on Reddit about Juan Soto and the Yankees. And this was when Toronto was kind of sneaking back into the discussion where people were saying, oh, that they're going to sneak in and snag Juan Soto. So I read this comment. I thought it was great, and I'll just kind of run through it real quick. Toronto doesn't have the requisite MLB-ready starting pitching. Talks a little bit about their top prospect. They got the ERA wrong, but basically said that San Diego tried to put public pressure on the Yankees by complaining about them standing firm, and then the Yankees leaked their offer. That kind of created some stuff in the media. And then I thought that it seemed like it was pure negotiation in the media, and that the Yankees' offer was the best that the Padres could do, and that it was the best match that they could get. And this was one of my more successful tweets. A lot of people agreed with it, but we also had some people saying, I'll trade Soto to the Mets just to make you cry. And then we had this guy laughing, all these Blue Jays fans. This guy was laughing, and he said, horse shit. Padres will not take wannabe prospects. And then this guy doesn't understand how to evaluate prospects. I just wanted to gloat a little bit and say, you guys had it wrong, and Yankees fans had it right. So take your medicine.
What's your excuse? Sir, excuse for what, sir? I'm asking the f***ing questions here.
Frankie Baseball said that guy's face makes me want to cry. AJ Preller. Yeah, I tweeted earlier that AJ Preller, he looks like he just sold a timeshare to some grandma. And he's just got this, I don't know. Yeah. Nathan Dorado says, Trevor Bauer incoming. I don't think Trevor Bauer is going to be a Yankee. There's been very little talk about Trevor Bauer at the winter meetings, according to Bob Nightingale. Sounds like his team from Japan wants to bring him back. Daniel Warden says, hot take, but I think the acquisition of Soto could be significant for the Yankees.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, it's a big move. This is the biggest move that the Yankees have made in years. 1,300 in the chat.
More of that, please.
I think Word Lifer has it a little bit better. He says Yamamoto incoming. So let's talk about your lineups. Let's talk about what you guys would do with your lineups. The question to me is who hits leadoff? And I'm going to check real quick and see if we have any official update on the names. I think right now Gleyber Torres is probably your leadoff hitter. And from Jeff Passan, hey, I said it right, WNBC. He says, Yankees receive outfielders Juan Soto and Trent Grisham, as we expected. Padres receive Michael King, Drew Thorpe, Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, and catcher Kyle Higashioka, Joel Sherman on top of the deal.
High five.
And for all the Blue Jays fans who said this wouldn't happen, so we do have some Juan Soto merch that is coming very, very soon. I will release it, announce it tomorrow. It is not live because we wanted to get this confirmed first before we put it live. But we've got a ton of Juan Soto merch coming tomorrow. Shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, just in time for Christmas. So, and all your winter holidays. So anyway, this is going to be a really fun year to watch, more so than last year, because I just think Juan Soto is going to add a ton to this offense. Murr says, my super chat. Let me look for it. Okay, he says, who is this guy we got in the trade? Fourth string type of guy. So Trent Grisham is a center fielder. Let's go ahead and take a look at his baseball savant as well. He is indeed probably your fourth outfielder, but he might start in center field to begin the season depending on how the Yankees align things. I think it's going to be Judge to begin the season. And we're going to share the screen real quick. Yes. All right. So you can see his batting run value is not great. His offensive numbers just 198, 184 last year. So he fits right in with the Yankees, unfortunately. Base running value and fielding run value, both well above average. And hits the ball on the barrel. Good chase rate. Good walk percentage. Still strikes out a lot. But really, in center field, he can run it down. Ian 216 with the super chat says, don't like losing King, but I suppose that's part of the price we have to pay. Still, there needs to be an extension here also. Appreciate the dono. I don't think an extension's going to happen. Scott Boras doesn't do that. He just straight up doesn't give out extensions. Or doesn't, obviously he doesn't seek extensions. He takes his players to free agency because he'd rather have offers from 30 teams than from one team. It's just math. Supply and demand. Alex Valerio says Verdugo leading off, Judge second, Soto third, Stanton fourth, Torres fifth, Rizzo sixth, DJ seventh, Trevino eighth, and Volpe ninth. Appreciate you taking the time to type that all out. I don't know if Verdugo is the leadoff guy. I mean, maybe. It's not bad to have a lefty who makes contact leading off at Yankee Stadium. I mean, Johnny Damon, Brett Gardner. He's not super fast. I guess that's not a huge deal these days. So that might very well be it. Yankees 286 says, with Higgy gone, Judge is the last player from 2017 on the team who never left. Wow. Hey, let's give a standing O to Kyle Higashioka. Great backup catcher. A little bit of pop. Lou Penafiel says, hey, is it official? Yes, it is. And he says, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Everybody loves hearing that. Been waiting all day for this. We got opening day tickets earlier today. Keep up your shows. Always looking forward to them. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
I got to tell you guys, I'm very excited. I'm more excited than I've been for the Yankees all season long. Andrew Calabria probably goes the way that I would go at this point, which is Torres leading off, Soto second, Judge third. Now, I know Judge is very comfortable in the number 2 hole, and I even know he hit leadoff a lot over the last few years, but I really want Soto hitting in front of Judge. Judge not only protects Soto, so he'll get pitches to hit, but he's going to walk so much that Judge is going to drive in an enormous amount of runs. He's going to hit so many 2-run home runs in the first inning that it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. Just stay healthy, big guy. Dermot O'Sullivan says, that's a lot of outfielders, no? So, right now we've got what? Verdugo, Pereira, Judge, Soto, Stanton, I guess you could call it outfielder, and Grisham. I mean, it's a fair amount of outfielders, but I mean, look at the attrition the last few years. We always lose guys. I don't want to see Willie Calhoun playing in this frickin' outfield next year. Not at all. Frankie Baseball says, are the Yankees the favorites to come out of the AL? I don't think so. Not yet. There's too many question marks. I mean, Carlos Rodon, what are you going to get out of him? You just traded part of your rotation in Mike King. I was looking at Mike King as being an all-star caliber starting pitcher. Now you have got to go out and get a pitcher. You might have to go out and get 2. And that's what I meant when I said the Yankees being all in financially is dangerous. It's very dangerous because they can go out and get Yamamoto. They'll pay extra for Yamamoto. Hell, they could go out and get another pitcher too. Would it shock me if they traded one of their top blue chip prospects and got Corbin Burns for this rotation? It would not. It would not shock me because he's not a long-term commitment. I don't think they're going to sign Jordan Montgomery unless Yamamoto signs elsewhere. And Yamamoto just met with Steve Cohen in Japan. Steve Cohen flew to Japan to meet with him, and he's meeting with the Yankees on Monday. Now, Brian Cashman has already come out and thrown cold water on the idea that the Yankees can go toe-to-toe with the Mets financially, which sounds ridiculous. But Steve Cohen has shown he will go to that upper echelon. He will go to another stratosphere financially. And the Yankees have not so far been willing to do that. But if they do sign Yamamoto, they're going to be over the $300 million tax threshold. And it's going to show that they're going all in to win this year, because you do not know if you're going to re-sign Juan Soto. Now, you look at Juan Soto's numbers last year, 275 average. He has hit over 300 a few times, hit 313 a couple of years ago, hit 351 in the COVID year, I believe. He had a down year in 2022. Remember, there was about 2 months there where there was no hitters about every other night, and there was the sticky substance on the balls, and they had to make a change midway. It was affecting batting averages everywhere, and Soto was not immune to that. About May of this year, he was off to a tough start, and they showed on, I believe it was MLB Tonight or one of those. It might have been ESPN Baseball Tonight, one of those. Apple TV, I don't know. Who cares? Whatever.
I don't think we're asking the right question.
Anyway, it showed footage of him in the batting cage, and he had backed way off the plate, and he was working on taking balls the other way, letting balls travel deep into the zone and taking them the other way. And that's when he's most dangerous, right? When he's not trying to pull. And that's a point that I brought up on Foul Territory with Eric Kratz tonight, is that he might actually lose home run power because he's playing in Yankee Stadium. Now, if you go back and watch the 2 home runs he hit in a game as a teenager, one of them was a pop-up down the left field line that went about 5 rows deep. He's just got great opposite field power because his bat stays through the zone for so long. It's so flat. Trent Grisham, left-handed bat, a little bit of power too. He's also got opposite field power. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. Fire in the console says, Yanks gave up too much for a 1-year player. Well, you're exposing him to New York now, and hopefully you're getting a chance to show him that he should play here long term. Adam Hyman says, trade Soto, replenish the farm at the deadline. First of all, thanks for the dono. And the only way that happens is if the Yankees vastly underperform and are out of it. If that happens, and they're confident that he doesn't want to re-sign, I think they're going to have him the whole way. The Yankees don't like to unload at the deadline. It's not going to be much worse than it was this year. I can guarantee you that. They were awful this year, and they still didn't unload at the deadline. They could have traded Bader. They didn't. They ended up giving him away for free. Kyle Gustafson says, will Soto be given mandatory off days because of analytics when he's shown he can play 162 games at an all-star level? That's a really great question. I don't know the answer to that. I'd imagine he will, because that's how the Yankees operate. Raiden Burr says AL East is on notice now. And Evan Long says, please, Yankees fans, do not boo him. 100%.
Bing!
Darth Wacko says, bring in Bauer for the rotation. The fact that the Yankees just cleared up a spot by trading Mike King, you know they're going to try and sign Yamamoto. The question is, would Bauer be willing to take a team-friendly deal just to get back in the league? If you go to Trevor Bauer and you say, hey, look, Trevor, I know that there was some beef in the past between you and Garrett Cole. We're going to iron that out for this year. The entire team, the entire roster is all in. We're all on one mission this year. It's Glaber's final year of his contract. It's Verdugo's final year of his contract. It's Soto's final year of his contract. We've got Yamamoto here on his first year. Prime years of Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge. We're all in to win this year. Can you come in and step into this rotation and just be a part of the team? Don't worry about vlogging in the clubhouse. Don't worry about being outspoken or any of that stuff. Just be a part of this team. Play for the name on the front of the jersey, the NY. If he says, yes, I can do that, I see no reason not to bring him in. Bradley Randall says, it is done finally.
More of that, please.
Ben Green says he prefers Frankie Montas. Frankie Montas is interesting because Brian Cashman doesn't like to admit he's wrong. Let's call a spade, shall we? He doesn't like to admit when he's wrong. That's why we had to suffer through, all those years of frickin' Tyler Wade, and why we had to watch a second season of Joey Gallo. The question is, does he believe in that trade enough to re-sign Montas and give that trade a chance to salvage itself? I don't know. It's an interesting question. What's he going to cost? Luis Severino just got 15 or 13 million. That guy from KBO, I forget his name. It was some journeyman. Got $15 million over 2 years. Could you sign Montas for 10 to 12 million? Probably not. I think every team would give him 10 to 12 million. It's going to cost you 14, 15 million. And by being over the luxury tax of 300 million, you're going to have to pay a large percentage of that back out to other teams. So I think there's a non-zero chance that he comes back. The fact that you traded Mike King as part of this deal means all options are on the table. Cincy says, Crazy Joe Gallo, like in The Irishman. Frankie says, check what the Yankees just tweeted.
It's what it is.
What it is.
So we're going to pull up. All right. So the Yankees today, and we're going to share our screen here. This is official. This is a moment in time. Yankees today announced they have acquired 3-time All-Star and 4-time Silver Slug Award winner Juan Soto and 2-time Gold Glove winner Trent Grisham from the San Diego Padres in exchange for Michael King, Kyle Higashioka, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, and Drew Thorpe. Welcome, Juan Soto. Well, it happened, baby. It happened. Juan Soto's just been incredible throughout his young career, and I'm so glad that he's going to be a Yankee. He wears number 22. If you had a Jacoby Ellsbury jersey with no name on it, if you had a Roger Clemens jersey with no name on it, congratulations. Robinson Cano wore 22. I'm trying to think, Harrison Bader, 22. That's why you don't get the jerseys with the names on them, because then you can reuse them in a few years. I have a 24 jersey that was Tino Martinez. Still got it. And also worth noting, number 18 is still available. That's Yamamoto's jersey. How great would it be to have a dual press conference, those two guys side by side, holding up their new jerseys with the New York Yankees? I absolutely cannot wait. Nightwish11 says, are they still going to pursue Ohtani? They never really were going to pursue Ohtani. I'm sure they talked to him and just kind of checked in. But Ohtani has no interest in playing for the Yankees. Sounds to me like Ohtani's going to sign with the Blue Jays, and I don't blame him. Large Asian population in Canada. He'll basically be playing for an entire country. The media is nowhere near as severe as it is in some place like New York or L.A., and that ballpark is a bandbox. It is an absolute bandbox. He might hit 50 or 60 home runs multiple times in Toronto. So, hey, congrats to him. He earned it. He's worked very hard. Can't pitch for another year, but it's going to be fun watching his career play out. He's one of the best to ever do it. Edwin says their account just trolled Heyman on Twitter. I haven't seen it. I'll catch up with all that stuff tomorrow. It's tough for me to keep on top of everything and also do a live show immediately. Okay, so it says, here we go. This is great. This is great. They tweeted, John Soto appears headed to the New York Yankees. I love it. Obviously taking a swing at John Heyman. That's great.
Yeah, man.
Jimmy Key was also 22. Higgy will be missed. I agree. So I mean that's a great tweet. I love the Yankees social media is so dry a lot of the times. It's good to see them come out of their shell a little bit. Baseball Quote says, "Give the social media manager a raise." Absolutely, great job. That's a great take. So I think there's a record for this show, 1,584 watching live. So welcome to all of the new channel subscribers. Had a lot of subscribers recently. If you're new to the channel, we do a recap after pretty much every game all season long. I'm going to give you guys a preview of next season real quick. So ignore that we have Bellinger on there. This is all just placeholders. This is what we're working on for next year. We're going to have all sorts of really fun new sound effects and graphics.
Gone, a grand slam! Gone, a grand slam! Power is back! A grand slam! Grand slam! He's gone!
We're going to have not only fun sound effects for everybody, we've got a new animated belt. And I'm really excited for you guys to see all of this stuff as we approach next year. So thanks to everybody who has joined and found this podcast over the last several weeks and months. A lot more coming your way. Junior Karamis' best Yankee recap show on YouTube. And I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with you.
More of that, please.
Jack Wells says Nestor will be a huge X factor next year. I got to agree. He's a guy who had a lot of shoulder issues, but 2 years ago he had a 2.44 ERA. He was just absolutely amazing. He's kind of a throwback in that he pitches kind of like El Duque. A lot of different arm angles, a lot of different, timings of his pitches, cutters and change-ups and balls moving in and out, up and down. And he has had, because he's kind of small in stature, some shoulder issues. Now, hopefully this winter has allowed him to rest. He pushed it hard 2 years ago. I think last year it caught up with him. And hopefully this winter he's had a chance to rest, straighten it out, get healthy. Hopefully there's no structural damage. You got to imagine that the Yankees are keeping a close eye on that. And as Justin Infante says, smash the like button. Kosh says, make some merch for Soto and enjoy it while it lasts. So I'm going to check real quick if the Soto artwork that I commissioned is ready. And if it is, we're going to reveal it live on the air. Let's see here. We're going to find out. I don't see it yet. It says in progress. So I commissioned it. I asked the guy to get it done today. It's not done yet, but you guys are going to love it when it is done. And we'll hopefully have it up tomorrow. And it'll be on t-shirts, hoodies, all that good stuff. By the way, check out the store, NYYRecaps.shop. All right. I feel like we have covered what we need to cover. And let's wrap.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
I gotta get out of here!
I agree with Frankie. This is an amazing day. Jake Block says, remember me from 2 hours ago? I believe it now. I do too.
Game over,
Hashtag
man.
me too.
Game over.
And Journey of Life says, now we're talking. So, Yankees, I feel like have done themselves a huge favor in adding some. They've added 3 left-handed bats in the last 2 days. So that's an objective that Cashman said he wanted to accomplish, and he has accomplished it. Instead of 2 outfielders, we got 3. And there might be more moves to come. We still need a starting pitcher, and we need to fill Mike King's spot in the rotation. Clark Schmidt not part of the deal. So everybody loves Cashman now. Cashman. All right.
Absolutely. Hey.
All right, guys. We're going to call it a night. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.